John Wick is tough, mean, and can take down any bad guy who comes his way. But that doesn't mean he can't make us all laugh. Well, at least behind the scenes. If you haven't guessed yet, today we're going to show you the easygoing, nice side of John Wick, and the rest of the film's cast through bloopers, with a few behind-the-scenes facts thrown into the bargain as well. Let's get into it. Technical problems. Let's start off by taking a look at the combat scenes in the movie. Now, we all know that the actors here aren't seriously hitting, shooting, and choking each other for the takes. What many people also don't know is that these sequences look different on set as compared to the movie we watch. Some of these scenes actually come across as quite funny when looked at without the special effects and sounds that get put in during post-production. In one behind-the-scenes shot, we see that they're shooting each other, but there's zero sound, so it makes the sequence look quite funny. Most of the epic scenes look very different if you watch the footage before the CGI team steps in to do their thing. Take a look at this strange-looking helicopter that goes after John and his pursuers in the third chapter, or this carriage that films him running on the street in the pouring rain. Next, getting into character. Do you recognize this behind-the-scenes shot with Mark Dacascos from Chapter 3? It looked badass in the movie, but was funny on the set. Oh man, it's impossible not to like Keanu. While shooting John Wick, he showed off his professionalism on several instances. Reeves trained for months to get in shape and do everything his character had to do in the movie. And by training, we don't just mean that he hit the gym for an hour every day or woke up early to do push-ups in the morning 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. He probably did those things too, but he had to do way more to be ready for his role. He had to go through gun training, martial arts training, driving training, and several other trainings as well. It's not every day you get to see an actor who does that much on set and commits to their role that intensely. Now for good guy Keanu. Besides that, Keanu was always the first man to show up during production, and he would also be the last man to leave after wrapping up for the day. That's how committed he was to his job. He's always present and alert, fully focused, he's always been seriously involved with his characters. He's a real professional. And now, the show must go on. You probably didn't know that while filming the nightclub scene in the first film, Keanu had a 104-degree fever and he still did most of his stunts himself without the aid of any body doubles or digital assistants. It was as if it was really no big deal. 104 fever is nothing to take lightly. Here's some more behind the scenes. He may be an excellent actor, but he also doesn't necessarily get everything right in the first shot. We can let that slide. He's only human at the end of the day too. Let's get back to the fights. Surprisingly enough, Reeves wasn't the only character on set who underwent thorough training for his role. Adrienne Palicki, who played Miss Perkins in the first film, also had to go through plenty of training to match her co-star. She reportedly was super fast at picking up choreography and never ever complained, so she had no trouble making herself right at home in the movie. You probably remember just how intense their fight scene was. There was a lot of breaking furniture, not to mention other breaking happening on screen, but you can definitely say that all her efforts were worth it because the sequence looked absolutely perfect. We can't imagine how tough it must have been, but that doesn't mean there wasn't time for some behind-the-scenes shenanigans, of course. Up next, Halle Berry really wanted to be involved. In Chapter 3 Parabellum, we also have to admit that Halle Berry proved herself as one tough woman. When it came to training for her part, she later confessed that this role was among the toughest preparations for a role in her entire career. It paid off in the end as we can watch a strong and dangerous woman on the street doing her thing. Besides that, judging from what we noticed behind the scenes, they also had some good time working together on the set. Yes, there was some laughter among the cast and crew too. They got on together quite well. She had been so excited to do the role, so much so that during an interview she revealed that when she was asked if she wanted this part, she didn't hesitate at all. As a matter of fact, she was so sure she wanted to do it, she didn't even bother reading the script and jumped aboard right away. Now on to dog training. A big portion of her training also included working with two big dogs who actually look kinda scary, but they're actually said to be really cute. What's even cuter is that to make the fight scene with the dogs, Halle had to spend 4 days a week training with them for at least 2 to 3 hours. She was supposed to learn to command them just like a real trainer. She later described it as an actual relationship that was formed between her and the dogs. Next is cats and dogs. Despite all the sequences being rehearsed perfectly, something took place on the set of the movie that no one in the crew could have imagined in their wildest dreams. There were so many cats roaming around freely on the streets that when the dogs noticed them, they totally forgot all their training, and the fact that they were supposed to be acting in a movie and they'd begin running after them. Fortunately, they still managed to film the scenes in question, so yeah, Halle definitely had some crazy moments. Now for the horse scene. However, while she was busy with her dogs, Keanu was getting things done on his own end. There's also also this scene. We're sure you'll remember the one where Keanu rides a horse with giant suspenders attached to his body. As if that didn't look hard enough, he had to do it over and over again for several takes until he got it right. This is how it's actually done in most epic movies, but when you watch it on the big screen, you never think about how it actually goes down. Keanu didn't want to just sit back and take a day off. He instead offered all on his own to film this scene where John is riding a horse, and since he's John Wick, he's not going to be looking where he's shooting. It wasn't just riding either. Keanu had to get off the saddle while moving, move sideways, and continue riding in the meantime by gripping the horse's neck. That's not all. He also had to shoot someone too. Why, you might ask? Because he's John Wick, of course. Next is keeping things going. Reeves also praised his co-stars and was pleased to say that they worked in a very good and professional way, giving instructions as clearly as possible and running things really smoothly. Now for why we relate to John Wick. You also probably don't know that John's adorable beagle puppy almost made it alive through the film. When the movie distributors read the script, they said to the director that if the dog was killed off right at the start, they'd upset the audience and push them away, and no one would watch the movie. But all their ideas were proven totally wrong. It was this exact thing which proved to be something that the audience could relate to, and it ended up making our main hero look a little more human and real. Finally, we have the secret ingredient. We have one more fun fact about the puppy. You definitely remember that adorable scene, but what you probably didn't know is how the movie crew made the puppy lick Keanu's face. Animals are quite unpredictable, and we can't just sit around and wait for things to happen to get the shot. Bacon grease was spread on his cheeks, which is what made the puppy lick them. They spread bacon grease on the actor's cheeks, which is how they got the puppy to lick him so eagerly at the right time. It goes without saying, Keanu really enjoyed filming with the dogs. If there's one thing the actor has in common with his character, it's definitely their love for dogs. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Make sure to click the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. See you next time!